Okay, Thursday morning in the kingdom, and Sir Rodney's heading to the United States of America. Hopefully he gets through the border. Not like me. Every time I try to cross the border, I end up in the room. Yes, and then they find out what kind of underwear I'm wearing. I'm wearing boxers or briefs. All because of my wasted youth. But I wrote a book series about that called the Naughty Natalie book series. It tells about my wasted youth and growing up and the trouble I got into. I was such a good lad. All right, this morning we woke up to +1. Yes, +1. But feels like -2. Yes. And then on the yo-yo scale, +34. Ooh, that's a good car by Henry Ford. Yes, Bonnie and Clyde made it famous. Yes. And then we have feels like +28. Yes, +28. It's unreal. So this weather is so confusing. Yes, just like me, I grabbed the wrong hat. I have my winter fur hat on, yet it's so nice out here. Unreal. So we had a calm day, a nice day, and then we have wind. And then we have a calm day, a nice day, and then we have the wind. So yesterday was a windy day. Today will be a calm day. It's so confusing. The snow is dropping like you wouldn't believe. Yes, unreal. So we'll be on the dog trails this morning and I'll find out how deep the snow is. But we'll be working in the shop today because it's too icky to be outside and I can't get this out of my bucket. Yes, here we go. To weld on the Black Fleet, we're going to be using this gifted wire. Yes, the MIG wire for the Hobart Handler 100. It was gifted to us by a Kingdom follower. So that is getting these projects fulfilled. So we'll be using this wire to fill in the firewalls on the 2 trucks in the shop. That'll keep me amused for a couple hours, I think. Plus, I'll be using the 3-in-1 bender brake shear thingy-me-bob. Yes. All right, we can do a scroll. I didn't untangle the flags because they actually survived yesterday in that wind. Maybe flags are made to fly in the wind. Yes. All right, so over here, we have no sun because it's overcast and icky. And then we'll just scroll this way. Actually, the sun's over here, not over there. That's December, when it's in the equinox or whatever, solstice or whatever. All right, the yard is covered with fresh snow from last night. It was raining and then turned to snow. So at my age, I had to be careful I don't have a slip and fall accident. Then the boss will be mad. He's such an asshole. All right, so over here, yes, there's no wood stove smoke yet, because I'll start that in a few here. The shop actually maintained its heat all night, so that's pretty nice. So this warm weather, I'm saving on my hydroelectric bill. Yes, and the time and effort to put in the wood into the stove and get it ignited or flames or for burning. Oh, these lips need some vodka. All right, so it's too icky to weld outside. It's supposed to be, how would you say, sunny and warm in the next few days. It'll be like +10. I'll be out here with my sunscreen welding on this salvage sloop. Yes, but the main thing is we're getting these projects done before my great demise. All right, I better go. Here comes the boss. Okay, off to a slow start this morning because somebody didn't start the wood stove, thinking we're saving wood or money or whatever. Oh, the boss is an asshole. So we came out to the shop here. It was chilly, so we've been running around trying to stay warm while the wood stove brings the heat up. Also, too, when I was walking the dogs this morning, we brought in some sheet metal, some steel to fill in these holes on the firewalls of both trucks. That's the 46, and I'm standing beside the 38. Oh, right here, last Nessman. Right there. All right. So this is a good quality steel, recycled, repurposed. So we have some shelves from the mine, which are probably 1950s or 60s. We have a nice shiny plate here. And we have the hood panels. No, this is the box, because there's the trim off that 78 Chevy square body we scrapped. So that's good American steel. We're going to put on these Canadian made trucks, I think. I think these were Canadian. We know the Maple Leaf is Canadian because it's a heavy Chevy. Okay, let's see how much talent we got sober. So these are the square box heaters we've been buying for 20 some years or whatever. And they're not a heater core. That's called a heat exchanger. So they went from $300 or up to $700 now through Sir Rodney. So that tells you how pricey they're getting because they have that heat exchanger. It's not a heater core anymore. So here's the blueprint, the template mounting instructions. All right, so 20 years ago, I put one of these square box heaters in a 39 Chevy. So I put this on the firewall, marked out the holes, and then drilled the holes incorrectly. All right. So we did that again in 2012, right? 2012. So this is where the heater outlets come out. So that's why they're oval shaped. All right. So that's why we have problems. Okay. So let's see if we have enough talent here. All right. So back, I think in 2018, I think I made my template out of a gray file folder. Yes. So there it goes. And that's where the codes are, everything for marketing it, which is the cab, which is that. Let's see if what I got here when we overlap it. All right. There's the holes lining up. Then there's the holes for the ports. So can we say there's a mistake? So there's a quality product. For 20 years, they're setting the same piece of paper in, and nobody's told them that the template is wrong. So that's why we're not buying these heaters anymore with these heat exchangers in there. We're going to buy the heater core out of the Ford or Buick, and we'll make our own box, because Sir Rodney even supplied us the fans and the blades and everything, so we can show them we can build a better heater motor core thing for the film trucks. That's the white Chevys outside with the gray door, better known as the film trucks. All right, so today's project is we're going to fill in these holes here, and then we can remount the heater properly so it looks good. Yes, and we have the hole made right there for the master switch, which is the ground. So we're copying the 45 Chevy, because the 45 Chevy and the 38 Maple Leaf can travel out to the outside world where there's Walmart and shopping and stuff like that. So we need a way of, how do you say, anti-theft. So putting a key ignition in is pointless. So it puts two master switches in, one for the ground, one for the positive or power cable, and that should screw up the thieves of Manitoba. Okay, after lunch in the kingdom, and I'm outside. Yes, it's not even a sunny day, but that snow sure is melting. Just like being in Florida, you could be on the beach on a cloudy day and still get a suntan while wearing your Speedos, or a sunburn if you drink too much. All right, so to recap here for the new viewers or Kingdom followers or YouTube subscribers, this is the 45 Chevy. We worked on it back in 2020 when the great lockdowns. This truck was apart since about 1989, I think, or 85, somewhere in there. We took it apart. We got ownership of it. This is the truck that my grandpa got hit by the train in 1947. So what they did was the train hit him just behind the cab here. So the back of the cab got smashed out. So what they did was cut the cab off right here and put a new one on. Okay, so what we've done now is this truck has been apart for close to 40 years. I got tired of it being in the storage trailers all over the place, so we put it back together. So we really hoped in 2022 for the, I think it was the 50th anniversary, or no, 70th anniversary, I forget what it was, but to drive to where Grandpa got hit by the train by Souris, Manitoba, just south of Alexander, where I grew up in the pink house, and we wanted to drive this truck to commemorate it. Yes, I think it was 75 years. I can't do the math. I didn't watch Sesame Street and I'm sober. Okay, so what we did in 2020 to 2022 or whatever was we worked on the cab. So we've replaced the bottom here, and we didn't do the doors because the doors were off. All right, and we fixed the back of the cab corners here. All right, and like we tell everybody, we're not body men, we're roughing it in. A good body man can fix what we've done. And we put the black paint on as a protective coating, yes, and then we put the white on because it was too confusing with too many black ones, and you're trying to tell everybody which truck is which. Okay, and the windshield frame, during the great lockdowns and stuff like that, you couldn't buy the windshield frame, so we're still waiting for the money tree to blossom so we can buy the windshield frames. But in the meantime, we just put plexiglass in there and duct taped it in and painted to make it look like it. So that's a true Canadian way. This is a 45. Military issues, sold for civilian use. Grandpa was honored to get one because he was hauling to the Commonwealth Training Museums. I mean, air bases at the time. They're now museums. And the fact that it has a steel VIN number plate, and the 5 means it's a 45, because back in the war days, aluminum was rare because you're building the airplanes with it. There's a lot of other items on this truck that made it war issue or military issue, but this is what we're trying to recreate, is this nice clean firewall and the master switch down there and stuff like that. Okay, so there, we got all the trucks back together and on wheels. Okay, now we're doing the fenders and body works and stuff, and then we decided we're going to put a beaver tail deck on the back, so that was recycling. I think that was May long weekend of 2023 we whipped up that deck. Okay, with this being the first truck we put together, it's also the hardest one because we learned a lot on this cab as we learned the bodywork and stuff like that. So it should go together good. And also too, trying to get parts for these trucks during the great lockdowns. Okay, the 38 GMC and the 39 Chevys, these front springs were getting rebuilt at about, 2 springs for about $1,000. And then with the great lockdown and the price increases, it went up to like $1,200 a spring. So we spent a lot of money. So there's fine detailings left to do on this truck, and then it's roadworthy. Like, we're not cheaping out. We couldn't get the factory bushings or pins or whatever, so we made our own. We're using the top of the line grade 8 bolts for holding everything back in together. Like, we're not cheaping out. It has the typical new style drag link in, none of that ball and socket that you hit a bump and it falls apart up here. But this thing is we're doing it correctly, and we got all new tires on everything. Okay, when I grew up and to the present day or whatever with my dad, he ran around with booster cables and tire machine or tire air tank or whatever. Because that's how he moved his vehicles to mow his grass. I refuse to boost anything. I refuse to put air in tires. I go out and buy a new battery and have a master switch, and I buy new tires. I do not like putting air in tires. All right, so this truck is almost ready to go. Hopefully we can make it down for I guess it'll be the 80th anniversary of Grandpa getting hit by the train. And it's all recycled, repurposed, and everything like that. So it's going to be a nice ramp deck there so we can haul hot rods or cats or whatever. So it's going to work out pretty good. Okay, when I refer to the 67 and 69 Chevy film trucks, these are the trucks here. Okay, in high school I drove a 67 Chevy, which is this one here. All right, and it had the big back window. Okay, so you have the bucket seats in there. All right, so it'd be two buckets, and then if you had 4 people in the cab, the cops could tell if you had 4 people. If it was a small back window, that means they wouldn't know. So the fourth person, which is usually a lady, had to duck her head down onto somebody's lap while the cops are behind you, or you meet people and stuff like that. So I gave up on technology and decided I'm going to relive my wasted youth all over again. So I spent a year trying to find a 67 Chevy with a big back window in the province of Manitoba, but everybody in this province is an asshole and jerked me around. So I bought one, a 68 actually, in Alberta. So I went to Alberta and got it because this guy's a Kingdom follower. He bought all my books, and he's been a long time Kingdom follower on YouTube and the website and everything like that. So we buy the truck as a 68, thinking we just have to change the grill and stuff like that. Well, there's a problem. It turned out to be a 69. So this is where we're learning the Hobart Handler 100 last summer, because we have the marker lights in here and the bodies are rusted. Okay, so the funny thing is, the 67 Chevy for my high school wasted youth was rusted, and we scrapped it after high school sort of thing because it was too rusted, too far gone. And now we're working on trucks that are actually rusted more than the 67 was back in the 80s. Okay, so that's what I say. So it has the original motor from my high school truck. Okay, Dad took it out, or we took it out and put it in something else. So I actually have it. It's installed in this one here. So it's all original. It's back to what it was there. So in 2023, we gave up with that book verb, that 2013 Tahoe that Rodney found us, and no computers. Okay, these trucks have electronic ignition in it, the HEI, so that's the only thing we're going to have computerized. Oh, and a satellite speedometer. Yeah, it's because we had no sense trying to make the old ones work. So these ones are very close to being on the road. We just have the body work on the cab and everything like that, and the windshields. Yes, the windshields. So that's kind of funny. I went looking for one and I ended up with 2, and this one was just over in the next town where Johnny G lives, at Grieve Rapids. So we got this one. So I had bought this one originally in Alberta, went and got it, and then we brought this one home, or 2. So we ended up with 2. So they're called film trucks because if my Naughty Natalie book series becomes films, they need film trucks for the actors to drive. So that's why we have 2. This one over here will be an automatic, and that's be the staff's vehicle, and this will be my vehicle, being a 3-speed standard. All right, let's get back to work. It's the sun's coming out. It's getting bright out here. I need my sunglasses on. Okay, we're back in the shop and mounting the 3-in-1 bender brake roller thingy-me-bob on the truck here. We can say we got a tool truck now, a service truck. We can go out and do repairs. Yes. Okay, so when I realized we have all these black fleet trucks and we have to do body work, and then we got into the 67, 69 trucks. So it was obvious that we needed a good quality bender brake shear mechanism. I'd picked out one, and Sir Rodney decided it's only money, let's upgrade to something of quality, which I thank him for doing it now. I forget how much money this was, but it was well worth the purchase, and we're still learning it. Okay, this is a common 3-in-1 bender brake. Okay, it's got the King Industry name on it here, but it's made in Asia or whatever, we're not sure of the country. So it's a simple thing. The shear is down here, okay, just like metal class or shop class, you know. And then here's the bender, and then the roller thingy-me-bobs are under here. Okay, so you adjust the rollers, so that's what we say. We can bend curves, all that. But we're still learning this, okay? And that's what I mean, we're learning. So all you do is you move the lever here, and it goes in a rotation, so the bender comes up and the shear goes down, or whatever, I forget how it works, you know. It's been about 8 months since I last used it. So that's what I said. So we invested in quality, okay? So we can, how would you say, try and get a better quality product. I'm glad Sir Rodney spent my money wisely, and we upgraded, because the one I was looking at was just, I think it was too cheesy, and Sir Rodney didn't want to be involved in purchasing it because you'd never hear the end of it. So upgrading to something of quality, that's the way to go. So it's nice to come over, shear the pieces, and then make them fit, and then with the roller on the top there, we can get it to bend and curve, okay? So like we have to do the inside of this cab. We have the back here to fix, a little bit down in here and in here too. So like all this stuff has to be fixed. Okay. We didn't have it when we did the 38 Maple Leaf over there. All we had was the torches and cut off wheels and the grinder and all that crap. But now that I'm retired, we bettered ourselves. Having this plasma cutter is the godsend. We'll be using it right away here because we have to whip off these little bracketries for the plywood hood panels we put on. Plus we have to cut the electrical hole in the firewall here. So if we cut that hole out, it might fit over there to be welded back in. So it's going to be a relaxing day using the plasma cutter and the 3-in-1 bender, and hopefully we'll get some production. If not, we'll be drinking lots. Okay, coffee time in the kingdom, and we chose the 78 Chevy square body. This is material we're using. This is that quarter panel or the box or whatever. It seems to be a nice thickness, and I can cut a full sheet, okay, right across, all right? And that's just using myself on the rod here, the handle, the lever, okay? So I just pull down or whatever when it's fully extended. All right, so we're cutting the pieces. I chose this end because I'm left-handed, or work the lever system with this hand. But this is where the blade actually starts down, and in shop class, when we took welding and all that, you were told to use this end. Well, I'm not that hand for this lever over here. I took it out because I banged my head on it. Also too, this is made in Asia, so there's no quality. So that's sharp edges here. It's little finishing touches, okay? So I'd buff this one really smooth after I cut my hand or whatever. Okay, so it's dark in this part of the shop. Plus I'm getting my exercise. So we have these flashlights. Okay, so note the flashlight, the base. We've been buying these things for a long time. We get them through Sir Rodney. They're rechargeable. Okay, so let's do the walk. I've been walking back and forth, so I'm getting my exercise. But actually this is working out good because I'm getting a better quality of product. So I set myself up here. We went and got some more extension cords and everything like that. So this is what we're doing. Is we marked all the holes in the purple that says save, and the yellow that says fill. So here we are here. So these are the holes for that heater that's got to come back through. So it's easier to fill it in and re-drill properly than trying to fill in half a hole or a quarter of a hole. So we're going along pretty good. Okay, I showed you the flashlight base. It's magnetic, so there it is there. And here's the little, oh, I think these are those exotic magnets or something like that. Dr. Evil would probably use them. But that's what I say. We're reusing, repurposing everything. We don't go out and buy magnets for, how would you say, holding steel on. Why, when you can use this stuff? Everything at the end of the world is repurposed, reused. We don't have 1,001 tools to do a job. We have 10 tools and we make it work. All right, so that's what I've been doing. Whoops, just about tripped over the cord. Safety first. All right, I'm going to sit down. All right, I'm sitting on the running board. So this is what we're doing, because this is what's going to be seen on the inside. Okay, so when the next person that works on this vehicle whips back the carpeting or whatever and sees the mess, So we're using the flashlight to hold the piece on. So this piece here is ready to weld. Okay, do we have enough talent? All right, so I'm leaving the hole, so this is working out pretty good, and then I'll come in with the welder and go around so it looks pretty and then buff it out. So it takes time. We're moving about the speed of a herd of turtles, but the main thing is getting done, and it's getting done properly. With that cutter or whatever, the 3-in-1. Okay, I'll stand up. I cut my pieces here, and my pieces are right there ready to go. So this is our production run. We're very pleased. How would you say? The 3-in-1 bender, shear, cutter, thingy-me-bob has bettered the product in getting our material ready. And then using the Hobart Handler 100 with a brand new tip in it. Yes, we splurged. We got the tip out. Yes, because usually we go lots and lots of welding before we change out the tip. But no, this is a very good product we're getting. We're very pleased. All right, let's go have some beverages and celebrate. Okay, we worked late and hard, but we got it done. So the main thing is this heater is sitting in the center now. It only got the one nut on the bolt, but it's centered when you put it up into place. So this looks good. We kind of got a little wowie on the firewall, but who cares? We're not going to a car show or anything like that. I grew up in the hot rod world, and my dad's friends would spend hours building a hot rod car to show it off and only take it to shows at certain times of the year, and then after 2-3 years they're not invited back because everybody's seen the car. So what do you do with the car afterwards? Nothing. It's a show car. You just sits in the garage and waits. But the main thing is we got all the cracks welded and everything all in here. This was cracked out pretty good. The heater is sitting centered, and then we quickly went back here. Oh yes, use the hole saw. The smaller in the size you want because it wobbles all over the place and makes a bigger hole than what you want. So that's why you go smaller and you end up with the hole you want, okay? All right, so over here, we quickly ran back here to the 46. And since how we had all our pieces cut and processed as we went through on the 38 maple leaf, this went pretty quick. As you can see, I have a protective coating of silver paint splashed all over the place. But it's the thought that counts. And even in here, we splashed it around because now I can put the heater back on, right? So this is working out pretty good. I'm surprised that paint is even flowable because I think that can's probably 2 years old or more. But it's the thought that counts. It's a protective coating.
Thursday morning in WHO-ville, and it's almost 8:30 a.m. and I'm getting ready for work. As you can see, it is pretty cloudy out and it's actually really warm. It's already starting to melt, as you can hear from behind me. The roads are really sloppy too. You can see all the ruts from the snow melting. Now it's time to head inside, let the dogs back in, and get to work. 12:30 and I'm just finishing up lunch. I had soup and a sandwich again today, finally getting over this cold, but I'm still not feeling the greatest. It is pretty warm out here today. As you can see, a lot has melted and I am sweating in my normal school clothes. Now it's time to head inside, let the dogs back in, and get to work. 4 p.m. and I just made it home from work. It was a pretty good afternoon. The kindergarten, grade 1 and grade 2s all had a bus course this afternoon, so we got to go on and off the bus and all the safety measures. It was a lot of fun. I had the kids laughing, acting like there was a real fire. Now it's time to head inside, let the dogs go quickly, and then I have to go shopping. Way too warm for me to get the skidoo out to go up into WHO-ville and shop, so I will be walking with my little helper to go fill some water jugs and grab some stuff on sale. And once that's done, I'll get the skidoo out and head on over to the kingdom. As you can see, it is melting pretty good, so it will be fun. Almost time to get my quad out. Almost 5 p.m. and I just made it back from shopping, grabbed a few things there that were on sale, and it was $80 for 4 water jugs and 1 little bag, but they did have peppers and a couple other things. Now it's time to head on over to the kingdom and see what my dad's up to. Just after 5:30 and I'm officially done in the kingdom. I didn't do a video when I got here because I was only here for a little bit chatting with my dad. It is way too warm, and as you can see, everything is dropping pretty good, so we don't want to wreck our trails or really do anything in the yard. Now it's time to head on back into WHO-ville and do the weather. Almost 6 p.m. and I made it home from the kingdom and put the skidoo away. Tomorrow we'll have to get the quad out because it is a struggle to go back and forth from the kingdom with the skidoo. There's just not enough snow and it's extra slushy, so we'll get the quad out tomorrow and do a few things in the kingdom. Now it's time to head inside, let the dogs out, and do the weather. 6 p.m. and this is the temperature we're sitting at today. It's 5 degrees Celsius, which is 41 degrees Fahrenheit. We even have the feels like on the bottom. It's been pretty warm out there again today, like it's been the last few days, kind of the same temperature as well. Now it's time to head inside, let the dogs back in, and give them a treat, make supper, and end my day.
Okay, just about 7 o'clock, we're done for the day. We had a very good production day, but then again, we're organized. We bettered ourselves in the last couple of years with better tools, better things. Yes, that's the way it should be. Don't spend money foolishly on women. Buy better tools. All right, the dogs are whining. Look at how much dirt is showing in front of the hoe shack and loader shed there. That is melting good. It's hard to walk on this snow. That's why we're hiding in the little shop. I did not put any wood in the wood stove. It's pointless. It's just... we're burning wood for no heat or necessary. All right, so maybe we'll stop. Sunshine will come out. We can weld outside and enjoy some fresh air. But I'm very pleased with how much I got done. And once it turns nice, we can unload the plane here. Oh, the remains of the plane. And look at the flags. They're in their natural state of being limp. All right, let's go walk the dogs, drink some beer, and make a video. Talk to you later.